Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with the general manager from Sweetland Amphitheater, who's been here in our community a big old whopping 6 months now. I am being joined today, ladies and gentlemen, by none other than Brent Gibbs. Brent, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my delight to be here.
Well, it is a pleasure to sit down with you. But 6 months now, Brent, you've been here now, right? Tell me, what do you think about it so far?
Well, number one, my family and I, we love LaGrange. Both the welcome we've received from our city staff colleagues, but then also our neighbors in LaGrange. We bought a home here, and our boys are in school, and we feel incredibly welcomed, and we've enjoyed the natural beauty. We've enjoyed the aspects of a smaller town. We moved from Nashville, which is not only just a bigger town, it also happens to be a town that's getting bigger by the minute. And so the change of pace for us and the change of setting has been fantastic. This is the first time professionally that I've ever worked in a larger organization, and so being a person who can call many people my colleague or my coworker has been a welcomed opportunity, and so we're having a blast is the short term. We're a little bit nervous about our first LaGrange, Georgia summer, but we will bear up under the heat and humidity and do the best we can, but there's a healthy dose of fear.
There you go, absolutely, because it can get a little warm now.
Yeah,
let you know.
It was definitely the warmest Mother's Day I've ever experienced, on Sunday.
Okay, well, very good.
But it was beautiful.
It was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day. Well, Brent, 6 months, you've been here, you came from Nashville. The general manager of Sweetland, which is an asset here in our community. Talk about the Sweetland asset just a little bit for us, if you don't mind.
Sure thing. It is such a joy for me to tell the story of Sweetland in whatever forum I'm given the opportunity to do so. And that story sort of takes two shapes. One is, of course, the programming that we're doing there on an annual basis and the ways that we use it. But the second is sort of looking backwards and what Sweetland as a community asset represents. In many ways, it's such a wonderful example of cooperation and participation and collaboration. The genesis of Sweetland was that we took a historical sort of landmark piece of real estate in the downtown of LaGrange, and the Callaway Foundation and the county and the city collaborated to turn this into something that was a repositioning for the future, and to open it up in more programmatic ways, to use that piece of real estate in the form of a live performance amphitheater. And so what I think is amazing is when you look at a city like LaGrange and our relative size, and then even think to a city bigger than this, in many ways there's an element to this that would have never made financial sense without people who had vision. It's a very valuable asset that the community has, just in terms of the physical plant. That's not only the land, but the improvements that have been made on it. It's a beautiful facility. I think as we look forward, there'll be more opportunities to use it outside of a traditional concert experience. But when you go in there, my goodness, it looks like you're in a garden. I mean, it's so well cared for by the city, and it's a beautiful environment to be in, whether you're there for a concert or not. And so we just want more people to come because it is a community asset. And but it's a marvelous thing. If you look at it in today's dollars, it makes no sense. It could never be digested. But yet people, some 10 years ago had a vision for this Boyd Park to become something other than what it was, even going back historically when it was a community park with a pool. And so I stand here the joyful recipient of that vision and that commitment that Callaway Foundation, the county, and the city had way back when.
Yes, absolutely. And Brent, as a general manager, and I know that we've had lineups over the past, and the series has been let for this year, and there's some more announcements to come.
Yes.
I know there are some challenges too.
Sure.
We talk about the community, we talk about the diversity of the community. I want you to speak to the lineup and how that diversity plays into what you guys plan for the community by way of concert.
Sure. My colleague Mary Kate Nix and I, we come in every day, and whether it is subconscious or conscious, and it is both many times, we come in with the idea of serving all of the community. It's interesting that I continue to work in the music business, but I'm really a public servant. I mean, we serve the citizens of LaGrange and Troup County, and we have all of them in mind, right? So we're trying to look at, when we think about programming the community, community, we're not only looking at the demography of our community, but we're also going like, okay, what's popular in culture? What's popular for the given demographics, and that's age and race and income and all those kind of things. And then is there anything going on in the community or in culture that we could bring a piece of programming that would speak to that moment, right? And so that can sound high and lofty, and it is, right? I mean, we could simply program to make money, and we could do a series of concerts that are cookies on the bottom shelf, and there we go, we made money. But we are trying to serve the community, and we're trying to have the program that we do reflect the highest aspirations of what we value as a community, the whole community, right? And so that's beauty, in that music and other performance arts are something that's beautiful, something that appeals to the mind. So we want to educate, we want to inspire, and we want to unify with the programming that we bring to Sweetland. There are challenges that come with different genres of music, whether that's the cost, like certain artists may be out of our reach financially, whether that's the size of the show. There are certain shows that we may be able to afford, but they're too big. The physical show, the amount of lights and lasers and videos and trucks and buses are too big for our venue. And then another genre-specific challenge is that Atlanta is a really massive player in the music business, and in specific, it's a massive player in the genres of rap, hip hop, and R&B. And so we live in the shadow of Atlanta, and the challenge that represents is that many artists consider that market sacred to their career. And there's a thing in the music business called a radius clause, and the number one challenge to all genres, but it's really accentuated in the genres of rap, hip hop, and R&B. And that basically says if you play in Atlanta, there's going to be a radius clause that says within 90 miles and usually 120 days, you can't play another show in that market. Well, we are 54 miles from Atlanta, which means by miles we're blocked out. And then if someone were to play, let's say between May and September, the 120-day clause blocks them out for the entirety of the Sweetland season, which runs from basically mid-April to mid-October. And so some of the challenges that, again, are genre-specific have to do with really boring but necessary, I guess, for the music business, kind of contractual matters that have nothing to do with what we want, what we desire, and it may not even be relative to what a particular artist wants, because the promoter in Atlanta will dictate those terms. And so that's a challenge. It's not insurmountable. We work every day to persuade agents, artists, and managers that they can play LaGrange and play Atlanta. And LaGrange will do just fine on its own, and we won't steal one ticket from an Atlanta promoter. And so that's what we do. I do it every day. I sound like a broken record when I'm talking to agents and managers, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Yes, and it might take years, but I'm proud of the work that we did this year, and I think we have an exciting lineup that reflects diversity in the purest sense of the word. We span classical to hip hop. We span country to Christian, and we've got bluegrass and rock in the middle. And I think that covers a wide range of musical styles and the audiences that would be attracted to those musical styles.
Okay, very good. That's very helpful to know, because so many times people look at it like saying, they're like, wow, what's going on here? Okay, and I think this year you guys have, you got some additional lineups that you want to talk about.
Sure thing, yes.
And there's
absolutely.
one in there particularly that I'm excited about. Go ahead and talk about that lineup, the release lineup for 2023, if you don't mind.
Well, here we sit today on in the middle of May, and we had already released our first 6 shows, and we've already had 2 of them happen. That was Jeff Foxworthy and the rock band 38 Special. Looking forward, we have singer-songwriter Jason Isbell, iconic R&B group the Commodores are coming. That's going to be an excellent show. I mean, those guys can spend 30 minutes just performing hits that everybody can identify with. Then we have country artists Tracy Byrd and Joe DiMessina coming in mid-July, and then in August we have a fantastic black gospel singer, Tamala Mann. And Tamala, if anyone's not familiar with her, Google her. She sort of cut her teeth in music with Kirk Franklin and the Family, again, an icon. And she and her husband David sang with Kirk for years. And David and Tamala are regulars in the stable of Tyler Perry television and film properties.
That's right.
They're very well known, almost perhaps more known as actors and comedians as they are as a singer.
That's right.
But they're crazy talented, and that's going to be an amazing night. I hope nobody who wants to go to that misses it, because it's just going to be a fantastic night.
Absolutely.
And then just yesterday, we announced 5 of the remaining shows in this year, and that may sort of wrap it up for the year. We have one surprise that may happen. We're working on it, but 5 shows, and so we released the Christian artist, worship artist Chris Tomlin. Country singer, sort of an iconic woman of country, LeAnn Rimes. I mean, she's got Grammys and CMA awards and millions of records sold and tons of hits. She's going to have a delightful night, and a wonderful baby country group called Dave's Highway will be opening for her.
Okay.
And then Hall of Fame, Country Music Hall of Fame, Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame performer Ricky Skaggs will be here on Sunday doing a bluegrass gospel show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And a delightful Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder, which is his band, Kentucky Thunder. And then a delightful opener, singer-songwriter Cindy Morgan will be here. That's going to be, the musicianship that night is going to be off the hook. It's going to be really good.
Okay.
We get to October. October 13th, we have Black Violin, and I want to go back and spend some time and sit there. And we close out our season with the rock group Blues Traveler with Robert Randolph Band, and Robert Randolph is a freakishly great musician, a high energy show. He actually is the lead singer of the band named after him, and he actually plays lap steel. And it's lap steel, which is a steel guitar laid over on its side, and he plays it like it looks like he's typing on a computer right there, and it's unbelievable. I hope your audience will Google Robert Randolph in advance, but we'll put video out on our social media of a Robert Randolph performance. But it's high energy and musicianship like crazy. Extremely talented guy. He's one of those guys who's been playing since he was 6 years old, and it's just unbelievable.
Okay, but, very good.
But yeah, we cover a lot of ground in that second half. But Black Violin is really special.
Yes.
It's a really special performance.
Talk about that. I was excited when we were talking about it off camera, so and I must be honest with you, I had not heard of Black Violin until I saw it on the lineup. Yes. And I'm just going to say that's probably going to be indicative of most of African American, but this is an opportunity to educate.
Absolutely.
Is what you were telling me. So talk about that.
Well, first of all, before we go any further, up until 3 months ago, I had never heard of Black Violin. Okay. And in researching, I'm always, I spend, I would say, a good hour or two of my day reading and listening. I'm reading Polestar, I'm reading Variety. These are industry trade magazines. I'm looking at the talent buyer news outlets, and then I'm also just identifying artists and then going down the rabbit trail of I'll hear an artist name or I'll see an artist image and I'll go, and I'm going to go to sources where I can try and find something out about them beyond their website. So often it's YouTube, but it's also the industry related information. I didn't know who Black Violin was either. But something pinged me about it. And do you remember when we were talking about how we make choices? We also try to find programming that reflects the highest aspirations that we all have as a community, right? The values we all hold, right? And so education, inspiration, unification. Black Violin is going to be along those lines, sort of the best example of that we'll have this year. 2 young men who are classically trained in violin and viola, and they came together through trying to inspire young musicians and inspire young at-risk youth at large, whether they're musicians or not, about rewriting the narratives that they may experience in their home or in their school about who they are and what they can become. And so Black Violin came on my radar screen. It's a show that actually is a fusion between classical music and hip hop. And so on their live show, they'll have the violin, the viola, and the cello that they'll play, but then they've got a DJ and they've got a drummer and they've got a keyboardist behind them. And so it's this amazing fusion of Beethoven and Bach and then hip hop music and I think it's going to be a high energy, incredibly unifying event. I think someone who is interested in musicianship from a classical perspective will find it very attractive to see it cast in a different context. I think young people who want to be inspired by the amazing story of these two gentlemen, Marcus and will find that, and then certainly for our young aspiring musicians, actors, etc., they're going to do that. And so the special part about that, and I mean, I could take this whole interview talking about Black Violin and what a great achievement it is, I think, for the city, for the venue, and for our community. But the special part of that is that we have a youth strings education program in our Troup County schools called Troup Strings. And so Troup Strings will be performing with Black Violin on stage at Sweetland that night. They'll be doing their grand finale with the artists themselves. Wow. And this is going to be fantastic because we're going to be able to demonstrate, again, what's a community value? We value our young people. You know, we value educating them and inspiring them. You know what I mean? And we have an event where people of eclectic musical tastes and backgrounds will all find something desirable to come together and be together at Sweetland on that night. Wow. And I think in many ways that's the best that I can do in my job, is to give the broadest cross-section of people the opportunity to desire our programming at the same level and benefit from it, and in no small way do some really great to inspire our young people. Absolutely. That's going to be awesome. Do you know that date off the top of your head? October 13th. October the 13th. We'll make sure that we get that out there. And let me know. I can. I have, of course, we have all the dates on our website, which is sweetlandamp.com. Sweetlandamp.com has all of our dates, has all of our ticketing links. And you know, one of the challenges too, I say this for our audience, is there are, until it becomes illegal, there are many secondary ticketing websites. And what you need to know about a secondary ticketing website is that that is not us. You need to come to Sweetland Amp, A-M-P, short for amphitheater. Sweetlandamp.com is the only place you should buy tickets to our shows. A secondary ticketing site will have maybe LaGrange in the name, it may have Ticket in the name, it may have Sweetland in the name, but it is not us, and you will pay double the face value or more for those tickets, and you may or may not have a real ticket, but I can assure you that you have a real ticket. I can assure you that you'll pay the price that we're charging if you come to sweetlandamp.com. And so I want all of you to do that for your sake, so that you can have the best possible experience with the program that we do at Sweetland. Very good. You know, this is awesome. Brent, I just want to thank you for being my guest today. My pleasure. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I definitely want to come to the Black Violin. Now know more about them. Absolutely. I definitely want to come and maybe even bring my nephew. Absolutely. And, you know, but bring the LG TV cameras with you, and let's get some video footage of that. And we've got time now. We can work on potentially getting an interview for you with them. And, and see the ways that we can amplify and maximize that particular opportunity. And Alton, it was my pleasure to be with you today. Yes. You can invite me back to talk about whatever you want to hear me blab on about. I'll talk about it. Well, I definitely will have you come back and talk some more, because this is exciting. And I think it's great. And as I close out, Brent comes to us from I guess, an extensive background. And he worked for years with an artist that I admire, CeCe Winans. So that just goes to show the character and the diversity that you carry into your position here. So thank you for being our community. And we look forward to continue great lineups coming from you and Sweetland Amphitheater. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you so much, Brent. You bet. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week coming up in just a moment.
My name is Christine Dowell, and I'm a park ranger at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers at West Point Lake. Our beaches are now open for the summer season. We have 3 swim beaches available for public use: Earl Cook, Rocky Point, and Yellow Jacket Beach. There are also other amenities such as picnic areas with grills, ball courts, horseshoe pits, picnic shelters, play areas, and boat ramps. Rocky Point also has a fishing pier. There are also plenty of shoreline at each beach area for bank fishing. If interested in renting a shelter, you can go online to recreation.gov. These are just 3 of the 21 day use areas at West Point Lake. There is a $5 entry fee for each of these areas. You can pay for this fee at the orange fee machine at the entrance with a credit or debit card. If you have a Corps of Engineer annual day use pass or one of the Interagency America the Beautiful passes, these are valid for entry. Please display the pass on your rearview mirror so that it is visible. Here are some things to remember while at the beach. Wear sunscreen to prevent from getting burned from the sun. Stay hydrated. Drink lots of water. Please be courteous to other visitors. Alcohol is prohibited in the beach areas. Water and alcohol do not mix. Pets are not allowed on the beach. If you do want to bring your pet out to the lake, please consider going to one of our other day use areas. Please keep your pet on the leash while enjoying our day use areas. There are no lifeguards on duty, so please be careful and watch out for each other. And finally, please wear a life jacket while in the water. If you or a loved one needs a life jacket, we have life jacket loaner stations at each gatehouse for your convenience. Please use these life jackets and return them after use. Our beaches remain open until September 4th, 2023. They are open daily from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. throughout the summer. I hope you'll come and join us at West Point Lake. Remember, life jackets worn, nobody mourns.
Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, we are visited from Visit LaGrange by Lynne Holle as she talks about all the things that will be taking place in and around our great city of LaGrange. So Lynne, take it away. Let's hear all about it.
Thank you, Alton. Good morning. I'm Lynne Holle from Visit LaGrange. Today I'm going to be talking about just some of the events that will be going on in LaGrange during the week of May 22nd through May 28th. So let's get started. Monday, May 22nd and Tuesday, May 23rd, Lafayette Theater Company 2023 through 2024 auditions. Want to get involved in community theater? Look no further. We will be holding auditions for our upcoming 2023 through 2024 season on May 22nd and 23rd at 7 p.m. For more information, email Kelly Finley at kfinley@lsparts.org. Wednesday, May 24th, from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m., the 2023 Wellness Wednesdays at Hills and Dales Estate. Join us this spring at Hills and Dales Estate and feed your mind, body, and spirit with our third annual Wellness Wednesday program. Classes include Yoga with Lisa Alford, Dance, Fitness, and Pilates with Nancy Bradford, and a guided garden walk. Exploring history and horticulture in the garden with a member of Hills and Dales Estate staff. Each class will begin at the Visitor Center and last 1 hour. $10 per person per class. All classes are complimentary for Hills and Dales Estate members. Please call 706-882-3242 or email info@hillsanddales.org to register. Saturday, May 27th at 9 a.m., Memorial Day Veterans Grave Marker Flag Placement, beginning at Meadoway Gardens. We are looking for volunteers to help post 75, place flags on grave markers of veterans. We will start at Meadoway and end up at Southview Cemetery on Hamilton Road. For those who would like to help, please meet us at Meadoway at 9 a.m. Saturday, May 27th at 1 p.m., the Wee Highland Games at Nutwood Winery. Join us for our annual Wee Highland Games at Nutwood Winery. Free to attend and participate. Wear your tartan and bring your chairs out to the lawn at Nutwood to enjoy some Scottish athletics, including the famous caber toss. Saturday, May 27th from 5 until 9 p.m., it's Saturday Night Alive, featuring Whiskey Moon at Wild Leap Brew Company. Join us the last Saturday of every month for free live music, amazing craft beverages, food trucks, and more. Again, the music is from Whiskey Moon It's on Saturday, May 27th. All ages are welcome, and it's free entry. Alton, those are just a few of the events that will be occurring during the week of May 22nd through May 28th here and around the LaGrange area. So we hope that everybody will get out, have a good time, stay safe. Side note, I wanted to congratulate all of the area high school seniors who will graduate this weekend. Congratulations to the class of 2023. And also, as a proud American, please let us not forget the brave men and women who gave their all. We are home of the free because of the brave. Back to you, Alton.
All right, Lynn, thank you for that lineup of events that will be taking place in LaGrange this week and into the following week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining for City Week this week. My guests have been from Sweetland Amphitheater. I had on the general manager, Brent Gibbs, as he talked about the lineup for the 2023 series and also the new release lineup that will be taking place as they close out the season. But I want to bring special attention to the one that will be taking place on October the 13th, Black Violins. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a young group that are here to try to inspire other aspiring musicians as the troop strings from our local schools will be performing with them. This seems that will be shaping up to be an awesome night of strings and violins. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that everybody will come out and support this group. Not only them, but all of the artists that will be playing at Sweetland. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed my interview today. And as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.